Hi everyone, this is Betsaida Chavez Garcia. I'm a staff attorney at Immigrant Justice Idaho, and today I'm going to be speaking to you all about some of the new changes with the new Biden administration that have taken place within the last 2 days. First off, I'm going to start with talking about the first executive order, which was ending discriminatory bans on entry to the U.S. So this executive order removes the travel ban issued by former President Trump, and that ban had restricted certain non-immigrant and immigrants from Arab and Muslim majority, African majority countries from entering the U.S. And so that is great news. That is no longer taking place. The second executive order that I'm going to talk about is a memo that is related to DACA. This is a memo that was sent to the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Attorney General, and it states that they should take all action that deemed appropriate, consistent with applicable law, to preserve and fortify DACA. Now, there's still ongoing litigation regarding the DACA program in Texas, but it is encouraging to have this administration take a stance in support of DACA. As a reminder, if you have DACA at this time and it's going to expire, please look into renewing that. It's very important that you seek guidance from an immigration attorney or accredited representative, especially if you have had any criminal background or any encounters with the police or law enforcement. Also, if you think you are eligible for DACA and you haven't yet applied, please as well seek guidance from an attorney or accredited rep to see if you are someone who can qualify from Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, DACA. And the next topic I'm going to talk about is reinstating deferred enforcement departures for Liberians. Now, this is an order for people from Liberia who meet certain requirements to apply for legal permanent resident status under the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness Provision. So this is very great news for folks who are Liberians and who meet those requirements that they have laid out in the order. The next is the border wall. There is now an order stopping construction of the border wall, and it's going to also direct for government officials to develop a plan to redirect the funds that were being used for construction of the border to be used elsewhere. Next up, I'll be talking about the census. Some of you may be aware that former President Trump was seeking to erase documented people from being counted on the census, and now the new order is that we are going to be undocumented folks are going to be included in the census, and citizenship won't be questioned. Now, the next topic is ending Trump's deportation priorities, and this is important because if you have a final order, you should not be getting deported. If you know of anyone please get in touch. That's getting deported. Please get in touch with an immigration lawyer. And we are going to cover more about this on Monday. But along with this, it's also asking for a look into what the priorities for deportations are, and it's going to make it so that the directing it gets rid of prior. There's another order that gets rid of the prior executive order, which made all undocumented immigrants a priority for deportation, and now it's directing DHS to review immigration enforcement so they can make changes that are consistent with the new orders and priorities of this administration. Next, I will just finish with talking about MPP, which is known as Migrant Protection Program, and this is a program that was put in place that caused a lot of chaos, particularly in the border, where asylum seekers were coming to the border seeking asylum, and they were forced to remain in Mexico while awaiting a hearing. And this was devastating. A lot of us saw images of this coming from the border and what that was creating for tent cities to go up, for example, and really putting people in really difficult situations. And so now this program has been removed, and they will be beginning steps on how to manage folks who are seeking asylum, and new rules will go into effect that will allow for processing of folks. And that is it for now. As I mentioned, on Monday we will talk a little bit more about the moratorium that has been put in place. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our organization, Immigrant Justice Idaho. And I hope you all have a good weekend.